What's going on, guys? Tech here. Welcome back to a brand new cryptocurrency video. Today, as you can see, we're gonna get into a new subject of the day. But before we do that, we're just gonna go over the coin market cap, see what's going on. So right now we are on somewhat of a small run. As you can see, we have been on a bearish run ever since our bigger run previously. Right now we're up a bit. As you can see, the market is mostly in the green. We can see some ups. Bitcoin is pretty much very surprising, as you can see, 35% after very fun news about it. And most coins are up 5 to 10, some 15%, and those odd ones that are over that. Our market cap has reached over $400 billion, 405 right now, and Bitcoin sitting at $8,695, which is our main subject of the day. So Bitcoin has an all-time high of around 19,700. That's when the market cap was sitting around $860 billion. That's when a lot of people were getting in on the hype and everything. And then right when the market cap started to dip, people started freaking out because they didn't know how the market worked, how volatile it was. They were just sort of getting into it because other people were telling them to, and that was basically free money. So people started losing money by selling and didn't understand how it worked. And also they got into a time where Bitcoin was basically rising very, very fast. So they got into it also at that time too. So there's just like a whole bunch of weak hands in the market. And now after all those weak hands are out, now we only have our real investors that really understand the market. And it's a stronger market now, and I definitely think it has a lot more potential. So anyway, so getting into Bitcoin, I've been looking at a couple of bigger investors and some other YouTubers that have been talking about them. So getting into the first one right now, we're going to be talking about Tony Vase. So Tony Vase is basically a guy that brings out a whole bunch of different news about investments and thing. But now he's really into Bitcoin. As you can see, his name is legit in it, is at Bitcoin. And he brought this out a couple of days ago, like around 5 days ago. He says my probabilities of Bitcoin USD price outlook, and you can see it's very, very bearish. It's a very bearish prediction. And what are the chances of something like this happening? Well, I'm not sure. Let's see what he says. So 25%. So he's sort of bringing this out 100%. So he says the first thing he says, 25% is for Bitcoin to fall to 1.3k high of December 2013. So what that means is, as you can see, if we go back to the price of Bitcoin on a graph, and if even 2013 is even on here, Bitcoin was sitting at what time did he say exactly? December 30th. I don't know if it's on here or not. Yeah, it's right here. So December 30th was when I guess it hit 1.3k. I guess that was one of his all-time highs. And this time maybe it's not here. Anyway, so he says 1.3k. So he says 25%. So 1 out of 4 is 1 out of 4 of his prediction is that Bitcoin will fall back to $1,300, when right now it's sitting at close to $9,000. And people, of course, don't like a prediction like this, but he has this full explanation here. We're just gonna get into it more. 23% bounce of 4,975 high of August 2017. So his two biggest predictions are under 5,000. The first one 1.3 thousand, which is the highest one, very surprisingly, and then 4.975k, which is his 23%. Going to his next one, 12% bounce of 3k. So so his first 50%, or not, I guess not 50, it would be a bit over actually. His first 60% is all under 5k, and then so very, very bearish predictions. I'm not sure why he did this. Of course, like I said, he explained this here. So next 12% bounce, sorry, we already said that, 20% bounce of another area under 6k. So I guess right now we are seeing at the 8,000. Now something like 6k I guess would be a bit more realistic, but then we're gonna have to see the market drop to where it was not too long ago, and I don't think something like that is going to happen, right? If it is, then the market is probably gonna drop to under 250 again, and then we're gonna see even new lows on the market, and I don't know how long that's going to last for, if that's something like that does happen. Then 11%, 6k was bottom, 20k next year. So he's saying 20k, so 6k, like our 6k was the bottom that already happened, and now our 20,000 is going to happen next year. And then his 9%, which is the lowest one, was 6k bottom, and then 20k this year. So his lowest prediction was that $20,000 was going to happen this year, and that of 6,000. So his two lowest was that 20,000 was going to either happen this year or next year. So that's 20%. So 80% is that's going to be under 6k or under. So Very interesting prediction. Like I said, people are very controversial about this, but like I said, he basically explained the whole thing here. I'm not gonna go over everything. If you guys don't care about this and like all this different kind of stuff, like to be totally honest with you, it's a very very complex stuff that he put here. Whole bunch of different prices. He explains it all, and if you guys really get like in this depth with what's it called, with graphs and everything, you guys will probably understand this fine. But it would probably take me a bit of time to fully understand a graph like this, because there's so much happening at once. So just by look of it, something like this happening, of course, everything is possible for something like this to happen, but I don't think everyone would agree with him. As you can see, he's basically replying to everyone, and people are sort of like about it, you know. You could see a whole bunch of people that are showing their predictions, and I wonder what might happen with this kind of thing. But his plan, he says, is to hodl Bitcoin. So we'll see what he says. So looking at the exact opposite of sides, as you can see, this one's a very bearish prediction. We're going to be looking at the exact opposite of sides. So this guy is Thomas Lee. This guy basically gets paid for his predictions, and he talks a lot about crypto and stuff. And this one says, crypto, why Bitcoin could rally more than 70% the coming week. Fundstrat Lee says. Fundstrat Consensus 2018. As you know, Consensus is run by CoinDesk, and they basically a whole bunch of people that are really into the crypto market. They go and they make like interviews and stuff. It's a really cool thing. I'll show you that, guys, in a second. So he says that Bitcoin could rally more than 70% in the coming weeks. As you can see, just hold two different levels on the table here, right? So one says it's gonna go like basically to the ground. Another bubble, a really big bubble, is gonna burst, hit it back to $1,000, and then this guy says Bitcoin could rally more than 70%, which would take it back up to $17,000, maybe a bit less in the next week. So it's not even the next couple months, no, the next week. So this week that is coming up, because right now we're on a Sunday. So he's saying this week, because he posted this 8th of May, so a couple of days ago, so maybe Friday or something he posted this. And if this week something like this what's to happen, because there is a lot of bullish news, so I do sort of agree with this one. Maybe not something this crazy, but I definitely don't agree with this one. I definitely agree with this one a bit more, because it's a bit more realistic, because all the bullish news that's coming out for Bitcoin at the moment. So for something like this to happen, it's probably a bit more probable of something like this to happen. So as you can see, he has a whole thing in here. He said why Bitcoin could rally more than 70% in the coming week. Fundstrat Lee says digital currencies are in the negative territory for the second consecutive day, with the price of Bitcoin gravitating away from the key 10,000 level. After a weekend rally took Bitcoin near the psychological level, the number one digital currency lost as much as 9%, trading to an overnight of 9,050. A single Bitcoin BTC USD minus 0.65% last change hands at $9,177, down 2.7% since Monday's level at 5 p.m. Eastern time on the Kraken exchange. However, the loss of momentum may be short-term, some market participants said. So consensus event and records high. As you can see, he basically explains it fully again. So it's not like out of the blue. These guys are really into this kind of stuff. They're full professionals that get into Bitcoin and stuff. But like I said, there's a lot more bearish news. There's a lot more bullish news on Bitcoin so this would probably be more probable of happening. Maybe not, like I said, maybe not 17,000. So maybe we want to go to like 17,000. We'll probably see a 13 to 14,000 if something this was going to happen. But you know what? If we are gonna pick a side, I guess we might as well go straight with the person. And if it's gonna go 70%, then it's gonna go 70%, I guess, right? But again, something like this happening, it's a bit iffy, I guess. But of course, they all have their points backed up, and he is holding strong on this falling to 1.3k, you know. But there's a whole bunch of like different predictions out there, right? I'm just showing you one of the bigger ones out there, and again, two of these are super different predictions, super different on opposite sides of the table. One is super high, one is super low, so there's not really a middle. And you know, like I said, there's a lot of bullish news, like this one, for example, on Reddit. So the New York Times front page today, in case you missed this, as you can see, are coming soon. Bitcoin trades on Wall Street. So if you guys don't know what Wall Street is, basically like the place in New York City where they trade stocks and stuff like this, like brokers and everything work there, and they're thinking of trading Bitcoin. So if that alone would bring a whole bunch of volume to the market, especially Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because if they're going to get into Bitcoin, they're probably getting into other cryptocurrencies maybe in the top 20. So we're probably gonna see like something like Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin especially, something like Stellar, Tron, Neo, of course, something like Dash would all blow up if that was to get traded in Wall Street, and this would happen soon, maybe in the next couple of months. We will definitely see a lot of volume come into the market, and then we'd probably see a lot of these prices boom. So that's why I'm probably on more of a side of Thomas Lee than I am on Tone Vays. Even though I do like always read about these guys, see what they're always talking about the market and their opinions, because their opinions do matter on the market. Of course, they all have an effect on the market. All these different people that predict, but of course, it's all up to you and how you look at it and what you think is going to happen. I was looking at this actually a bit not too long ago. Joseph Young, he said, don't fall for investment advice from people with fake crystal balls. Long-term investment based on fundamentals is the way to invest in this market. No one really knows what's going to happen in the short term, which I fully agree with. Actually, no one knows what's going to happen in the short term. It's all just a bunch of predictions, and if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It's sort of luck at the end, and it's just all guessing. Even though these guys do know what they're talking about. As you can see, they have their full proof and everything, but at the end, no one knows what's going to happen short term, and I 100% agree with this. So it's all about your research and how you believe in the coin, because if you believe in the coin, doesn't matter if it goes up and down. If you believe in it, in the long term, it's going to cash out well for you, and that's what my opinion is. Leave your opinion down in the comments below, and I'll check them out. And yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe. See you tomorrow. Peace out.